I'd like to think there isn't much out there that can make me jealous, but this museum-like curation filled with vintage fishing paraphernalia had me green to my core and quite awestruck. Eric over at Fountain City Tattoo was having another fly tying night at the parlor, and I had to slide through to whip up some bugs with the boys. You might not believe it, but old Kansas City has a great fly fishing community, and while working to rebuild my bread and butter, I got to meet a ton of awesome folks and catch up with some old friends. Fishy conversations went on all night long, one of which found a lot of focus around the topic of trout spay. And little did I know at the time, but there I was, sitting across the tying table from a real deal wizard. Many months later, towards the tail end of a Midwest winter, I found myself in the trout capital of the United States. Yep, you heard me right, folks. Welcome to Cotter, Arkansas. But planning around the somewhat bipolar late season weather is never easy, but we finally settled on a free weekend that looked to be suspiciously warm.
Yeah, I'm going to 11 Point end of April for 2 days. And we're going to float near the tournament.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Man, that'll be awesome. Oh, what the hell? Check this out.
Oh, dang.
You seeing that? Somebody's having a bad day there, brother. Well, sir, I can say that's the first time I've ever seen that.
That's fairly fresh, it looks like.
Yikes. Now with this weather, you think we'll see a midge hatch?
Probably, yeah.
I can imagine they're gonna be going gangbusters. The beauty of this place is there is a lot of water to fish. This is Chris. Once just a stranger across the tying table, we now found ourselves walking down the exposed banks of this world-famous river. My new friend had so kindly offered to be my mentor for this foreign fly fishing technique, and really, it was an offer I couldn't pass up. We both agreed the reduced flows would be nice for wading, but it didn't put much of a dent in the waves coming from the armada of jet boats buzzing the banks. I was far too eager to break out the trout spay once again, so the disturbed water didn't discourage me at all. And that's right where you're supposed to be, right there. Easy out. Hell yeah, man. That's a white river fish right there. That right there is what we are imitating. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a sculpin. Chris mentioned that these types of patterns are usually pretty effective on the white all year long. It was nice to see that the prototype sculpin imitations I whipped up were good enough to break the skunk. Dumb stalker or not, that was a good sign in my book. Now that's how it's done.
We'll see. I mean, we might change up again.
Those P&W steelhead, it's unfortunate they're not really what they used to be, but like population-wise.
Yeah, it was right. I was on the Rogue River, and it was right.
Oh, you're on the Rogue?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like one of the creme de la cremes. That's cool. I just managed to get one, but kicked the skunk, which ain't too bad.
No, not too bad.
Yeah, yourself?
No, I just got here.
Oh, very good. Well, pass some good fishy vibes your way then. Hopefully you can. I'm gonna pass my good fishy vibes your way. Hopefully you can find a few.
Thank you.
A few more that we missed.
Where the guy in jeans is
That's the cash spot. Keeping the momentum going, we rolled over another set of shoals and immediately found some success. Nothing to write home about, but each one of these little stalkers helped get my faith back in this awkward rod. Casting was clunky, but these newly initiated cement sniffers didn't mind my incoherent slapping. Now, here's a question for y'all. Why in the hell do these poor rainbows feel so squishy? I swear, they have such a funny feeling to them, and when I think of trout, I think of torsional. Not so much taffy, but anyway, moving across these slippery shelves was a real reminder of younger days spent hunting for tailwater trout. Every year, a large group of extended family and friends would all converge on a southern tailwater for the prestigious trout hunt. Places like the White River served as my shaky foundation for all things fly fishing for many years. Nothing was questioned at the time because I was too young to really know any better, but it's fish like this next one that make casting here feel so strange. Now that's rich. That is a cutthroat. That is so funny.
This is one of the very few cutthroat I have ever found not in the Mountain West. That is such a goofy thing. They stock them in the White River.
Cool. This is so fun. I'm having a blast. I found a crankbait stuck in a log too. How good is that?
Yeah.
Oh man, and a double nymph rig that was also on a stump. Somebody's 30-incher. Still battling shorter days, we were prompted to pick one last spot to finish out this half session. The sun was leaving us soon, and tomorrow was going to be the real deal, so certainly some sleep wouldn't hurt.
So, this is the first gravel bar right up here.
Okay.
There's a second one right there, and you can almost see the rocks and stuff.
The contrast of the barren trees shadowed in the dim winter light was nice to see again, and one more squishy rainbow for the road obviously didn't hurt. The rest of our swings, however, went unanswered for this very tempting piece of water, but still satisfied with what we saw, Chris and I opted to call it here. Back at the bridge, we brainstormed a brief game plan before a quick dinner and then bed. This morning was cold, yeah, but everything's relative. For late winter in Arkansas, things were downright balmy. Anticipating an absolute train wreck at the boat ramp, getting out early would be imperative. We were met with a few taillights dimming the dark, but surprisingly, things weren't too crowded just yet. Quietly, we slid the drift boat into the water and paddled towards that mechanical hum. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be kicking at all, man. Look at that. Oh, wow. Did you see that big? That was a big fish. Holy smokes. God. Yeah, that had I had like a brown.
Light sinking, 10-foot sink tip.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just put on. We'll have to see. We got to press
Did you
the
hear
barbs
that?
here, single hook here.
Did you hear that? That was like a huge splash over there. Is that just me? Am I tweaking?
Oh, sure
Wow.
was, bud.
The growing glow of a new day revealed the face of Bull Shoals Dam looming over our heads. This right here is the piece of engineering responsible for fly anglers the world over making fishy pilgrimages all the way to the little trout town of Cotter. This part of the White is closed throughout most of the winter to allow the revered brown trout to spawn in peace. Late winter was now nearing early spring, and this section had finally opened back up to anglers. Despite the growing fleet of watercraft invading the upper portions near the dam, a lot of the fish still had fresh eyes when it came to flies. Oh, that's a fish. Well, who would have thunk it? Hell yeah, man. Oh, perfect. Got that 8-ball corner pocket. So far, great fly choice. Nice. I'll just quickly take care of this guy. Sick.
So it is edible.
I think, yeah, no, it definitely is. It's got some merit to it. That fly that you chose was the right one. You keep doing what you're doing, I'll take care of this guy. Oh, well, he just took care of himself. Never mind. Ah. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, no, that was a gigantic fish. That scared the piss out of me. That was a huge fish. Getting the skunk off was good enough for me, and with this section starting to get crowded, we figured it was time to lift anchor and start our float. Since we were in Rome, I was throwing big streamers at likely spots all the way downstream to help pass time. All the while, our eyes were peeled for shoals and runs to pick apart with the trout spec.
Well, this is kryptonite to most of those other boats.
Right.
This is exactly what we're looking for.
I hadn't quite found my sea legs yet, so it felt good to get some traction on this slippery riverbed. The deep aquarium smell chilled my lungs, while the omnipresent rumbles of whining engines echoed up and down the hollows. The nostalgic sights and sounds of this familiar stranger were hitting me hard. Now, admittedly, that was the only thing hitting. Neither of us were having much luck on this first run, so we hopped in the boat and continued on. Most of these shallower shoals were either ignored by the jet boat army, or they just couldn't fish them all that well. The drift boat and spey rod combo filled in this particular niche and allowed us to have a fair shake at some of the fish in the system. Granted, it didn't really feel like it at first. I accidentally hooked into my first spey fish well into the afternoon of this first float. Regardless, I was pretty happy to say I had one swing fish on the board. Further upstream, Chris wasn't having much more luck. We'd certainly hooked a few fish, but with the prolonged low water, we were told these fish were acting a little weird. Plus, in the last hour or so, the number of jet boats trying to make their way back to their respective lodges for lunch made the river an absolute wave pool for any poor sucker relegated to the bank. As soon as the boat motor stopped, the fish started biting. With no time to waste, Chris put his superior casting to the test and was able to cover so much water. And it seemed like with more water, there was more fish. Now, as the afternoon stretched on, a fraction of the boats did come back, but they couldn't kill our buzz. With a few fish to show and t-shirt weather in the middle of winter, this was certainly a silver lining to our day.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Nice. Yeah, he's definitely pinker than most. That's an awesome fish.
Good?
Yeah, let's see him back. Adios, senor.
Yeah.
Rolling up to our final spot before the ramp, Chris informed me that there might be some nicer fish lurking. The nervous anticipation of tension slowly wilted with every empty swing. Maybe the big dogs had already been caught? Or maybe they were just biding their time for the cover of night to come out and feed in peace. I'm not sure. But floating over the final section, our urgency to find fish wasn't biting too hard. We still had another full day left, so we discussed tomorrow's plan before we hit the ramp. After getting eyes on this section, it made sense to run it back, but maybe to fish it a little better knowing what we know now. final morning on the White was rinse and repeat now that the launch process was a touch more routine. Once again, we slid into the dark water, but this time we decided to anchor down closer towards the dam. The red glare of boat lights glimmered like mysterious eyes moving in the distance, the number of which increasing every minute approaching dawn. Still feeling protected by the shroud of darkness, I managed to swing into my first fish of the day. I named this guy Positive Reinforcement and sent him back. Not soon after, I connected with something that felt significantly bigger.
This is a good fish. Oh shit.
It's a good rainbow, bro. It's a good rainbow, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. That's easily my biggest fish on the spit. That's so sick. That's a beautiful tailwater rainbow right there. Let's see him back. Will he kick? Oh, he'll kick. Nothing to it. That's so sick on the spit. Let's go.
This big rainbow was a far cry from the legendary brown trout this water is so well known for, but this was by far my biggest fish to date on the trout spay. That alone was worth the cold hands this early in the morning. As I moved down this indiscriminate run, a few more ticks met my line, but nothing seemed to stick. Klein-filled boats had buoyed their way into the prime spots, and it wasn't looking like we'd be here much longer. A lot of the reason I fish is for the peace and solitude of it all, so environments like this remind me all too much of the combat fishing days of old. After a couple motors nearly ran over my line, I desperately felt the need to seek greener pastures anywhere that was not here. We both couldn't bear to watch any more bumper boats, so the anchor was pulled and our last float of the trip got its start. Now, opting for a deeper set nymph rig this time around, the action heated up surprisingly fast.
There's a fish. Oh, buddy. Jeez Louise. That's so stupid. Good stuff, good stuff. There we go on the nymph. We'll see him back. See you, sir. Oh yeah. Sweet. That was so, I was like going to cast again. Ooh. You got some big ones coming in? Oh yeah, we do. Woohoo! Yeah, that's a good fish. This might need a reel.
Right out in the middle.
Just in the middle of everything.
Dude.
Oh, buddy, I'm gonna let you go if you want to go. That's another great bow. Yep. Yeah, do what you gotta do. I'm telling you, it's the corn pattern.
Don't lose that.
I know. Oh, there's this fish. He's holding the current like a dog. I think we might be able to get him with this one. Come on, buddy. Oh, that's a good fish. Golly, Jones. Oh, man, I feel like he's going to pop any second now. Oh, I don't like this at all. All right. You still got a second wind in you. All right, he might be coming. Oh, come on. Oh, God, he's a thick son of a bitch.
Really?
Woohoo! Hell yeah, man. Do you think there's any way we could get him to the side?
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what. We could pull over there.
Yeah.
And get out.
Yeah.
And just hold him like here.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, he's got those bright cheeks, man. That slash is perfect. He's a survivor. He's been here a while. Does it seem like it's focusing in all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the.
Sick. It might be 4:30 by the time we make it to that that hole. We're cruising.
Yeah. There's a lot of dead spots in this float.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe we've uncracked it.
Yeah.
Some might say uncanned it.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's just so fitting. My two best fish of the trip came off a fly that so closely resembles a bright yellow kernel plucked straight out of the Jolly Green Giant can. I mean, tailwater fish, what are you gonna do? But even though those two didn't come off the spay, they were still such amazing fish, and the rest of the day would sure to be nothing but gravy. Floating past the now familiar sights and sounds, we were able to put some much needed distance between us and the upstream circus. We were both able to find some tension at the tail end of our cathartic swings. Again, nothing to write home about, but each one of these fish I saw roped in by Chris gave me insight on how this technique was meant to be utilized. And at the same time, each fish I was able to trick gave me inspiration on where and when I could use this to my advantage here in the future. With the low water, a certain portion of the fish tend to congregate in these shoals to seek refuge from hooks and talons. Jumping back and forth between banks allowed us to put our flies in front of plenty of eager mouths, so between swings and the occasional bite on the nymph, we did pretty well for ourselves.
Rain is now pushed past 5.
That's good news. Son of a, no, it's a bit better than fish. Sweet, sweet. See him back.
As the morning bled into the afternoon and afternoon into the evening, Chris so kindly offered to teach me yet another new skill, how to row a drift boat.
So that's fine. This is like the perfect current to learn on, dude.
Yeah, this is nice.
So go ahead, we want our ass a little bit more that way, so pull one time with that hand. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go, you got it. You can, and you don't have to do big strokes too, you can do little ones to kind of get you, you know. Where
Sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is neat stuff, man.
But if you, let's imagine like we're at the 9 or we're at the 11 point, we're coming down here and that boat is a tree.
Right.
So we're gonna want to turn our ass to go that way.
Right.
And we, depending on the current, we may want to slow our ass down. But you gotta look for shit like that, which is we're not gonna hit. But we're good.
Getting a masterclass on trout spay techniques as well as rowing 101, I mean, this was more than I could have ever hoped to learn on a long weekend here in Arkansas. With our day coming to a quick close, I'd like to jump on my soapbox for just a second and thank my new fishy friend. You really never know who you're gonna meet on the water or in a tattoo parlor in Kansas City. I tend to keep to myself for the most part, but it's times like this where I feel incredibly lucky to have met all the fishy folks I have, and that goes for both new and old friends. So Chris, if you're seeing this right now, thank you so much for this opportunity, and hopefully we can hit the water again very soon.
Still a really, I would say, really awesome day. This rain helped make it a little bit more dynamic, a little bit, beautiful sunrise, not too cold. Mid-morning was freezing. We kind of warmed up there a little bit, and I'm a kind of angler, like I know when to wave the white flag.
Okay.
And I think beggars cannot be choosers. I think we, at least personally, like today's awesome.
Okay, man.
So I think I'm good.
Okay. All right, man.